Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back to Times Square. Kevin McCullough, very glad to have you with us and very grateful. And I need to take just a minute to talk to my radio audience in addition to my television audience to kind of bring you up to speed on something that happened about a month ago. My radio syndicator went out of business and didn't really leave my staff or myself with a lot of options in terms of having distribution or notifying affiliates or any number of other courtesies that would normally have been kind of standard for the industry. And as a result, I fear that there are some of you that we missed over the last couple of weeks. And I just wanted to say welcome back tonight. I know that there are many of the stations that had not been able to get a fresh show from us. Some of you had heard reruns, etc. But tonight we are thrilled to be back on the overwhelming majority of our stations without any interruption, and thankful. If you're on in 300 places and suddenly you're just not there, it's a huge change. And so I want to say thank you to the radio stations. We've been calling diligently, personally, over the last couple of weeks. And thank you for all of the program directors and all the general managers that helped get us back on the air tonight. And we're so grateful. And of course, I'm always grateful for my partnership with the great people at Biz TV, Ed and his team there, and Salem News Channel, Kerry and his team doing a great job there. And I want to say thank you as well to Salem Radio because they are a new home for our satellite distribution for stations across the country. And it's been a big journey to get switched over from the old network to Salem, and I'm really grateful. Now my radio syndication and my television all are at home where my day job is. We're all Salem all the time, and that just feels a lot more unifying, if you will, across the board. But having said that, I do have some concern because just before this all happened, we were just trucking along at a great pace to see a record number of human slaves freed this year from Sudan. And in the last couple of weeks, not being on the air and so forth, we haven't seen people's gifts come in that normally would have. And so while we have helped, I think it's in excess of 64 women be liberated this year, our goal just for the spring is 108. And so we are behind pacing to finish where we want to be at the first half of the year so that we can hit our goal for the second half of the year without any problem. So I'm asking you, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with you, if you have given any thought to helping us liberate a human slave from the perilous conditions that they find themselves in northern Sudan, where they are literally the chattel property of someone else. They're not their own person. They're not allowed to be their own person. They're not allowed to think for themselves or have any autonomy of their own. They are abused by the slave masters. They are ritualistically raped, beaten, sworn at, called names, just horrific treatment. Then we need your help tonight. 888-342-1010 is the number, 888-342-1010. And when you call that number, the goal there is to give a $250 gift. Now, maybe you can give the whole thing tonight. Maybe you need to break it up into 2 payments of $125 or 5 payments of $50 each. But in whichever cause or circumstance that you can do that, if you're able to give a gift of $250, you're literally going to take a woman who has been subjected to sexual torment, behavioral torment, torture, in how she's spoken to, torture in how she's treated, and you're going to set her free and help her get back home to her family. That's why we have the URL bringherhome.org. Bringherhome.org is where you can go and give your gift online. But when you give that gift online, what that's going to go to is helping that slave, that former slave, come out of slavery and be able to start a brand new life. She will have enough food to feed her for the first year. She'll have enough seed to plant for the following year's worth of food. She's going to have a number of utensils to help her with gardening and cooking and fishing. She's going to have some tarps and blankets and other things to protect her from the weather. She's going to have a church and a community of people around her that are going to help her reassimilate to maybe the area where she was kidnapped when she was a young girl. And kind of the fun thing of the entire opportunity is that she's going to be given a little goat that is going to give her not only food, milk and cheese and stuff like that, but that goat will grow into a female goat and be able to birth other goats. And she is going to be able to, at the end of the day, have a micro enterprise business that will help support she and her children to be able to survive and thrive in a very tough part of the world. So your $250 gives her all of that, gives her the goat, gives her the utensils, the tarps, the blankets, the food, the seed, a Bible in her language. All of this is given to her for that one-time gift of $250. So when we have names on the list, like we have for slaves that we know that we're going to be able to free, we've already entered into negotiation with many of the slave masters. Once they are free, your $250 gift will supply everything she needs to basically get a brand new start in life. And considering that she's never owned anything other than maybe the clothes on her back, this will be a tremendous gift for her, and it will be life-changing in how it's felt. 888-342-1010 is the number. Now, our goal for the first half of this year is 104 slaves. 208 is what we're trying to accomplish for the full year, but 104. And if we're at 66 slaves or 68 slaves as of tonight, then that tells you how many we have to go. Let's see, that's 32 and 4 is 36, something like that. So if you're able to take one of those slaves tonight and say, I'm going to make sure that you have what you need, it's going to be a tremendous blessing. And we want to make sure. And the reason it's important to do it quickly is because we have another liberation opportunity just around the corner. Literally just days from now, we're going to be able to bring some of these slaves home, and we want to be able to have their bag of hope and their new life ready for them. Will you call 888-342-1010, 888-342-1010, or if you want to read more about it, go online to bringherhome.org, bringherhome.org.
Stick around for more of That Kevin. Next, That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.